All right, we're looking at 812 right now. Special guests in the studio. He's kind of behind a screen. I didn't plan for that. It's Mr. Tim Nelson. Can you stand up just a little? Look over the There he is. All right, Tim. Yeah. All right, you can check out Tim and the top part of his head on YouTube.
Here, we can lower this.
There we go. There we go. That's
that
perfect. All right, just slide around the corner there a little bit with the microphone. There you go. We got you on the camera now. All right, also on the camera, we have today's very special guest. She is the featured artist for tonight's Art Walk in the beautiful city of Chewelah. Welcome to the studio's Traci Manley. Did I get that right, Traci?
You did.
All right. I panicked at the last moment and was like, Traci. All right. We're all good.
Mooch is checking out the art over there.
All right. Keep the cat away from the arts. All right. So we're very happy to have you in the studios. Are you kind of local, Traci?
Yeah, I live here in Chewelah.
All right.
We moved here about 4 years ago.
All right. Start off. Give us a little background information about you. You're from Chewelah. Been here for 4 years.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Portland and
just like me.
Lived there most of my life and moved here with Laura, and she grew up here.
Okay.
And her mom is here, so we live here and moved here about 4 years ago.
All right.
Yeah.
And how did you meet that guy? Did you guys know each other in Portland?
No, did not. I probably walked past wherever he was in the Pearl there, but.
All right.
I was in the core area, but not the Pearl.
Okay.
But anyway.
I worked, Old Pearl.
Close.
Yeah.
Pearl area.
Pearl.
Wow, sounds like pearly and
Now you
pearly gay.
It's kind of dirty.
Oh,
It's fancy now, but
Yeah, it's
it used to be a little gritty.
expensive now.
So tell us, you have a kind of interesting job that
Yeah.
goes right along with art. So tell us about a little bit about what you do.
I tattoo, and I've been tattooing for about 14 years.
Okay.
And I tattoo at Mom's here in Chewelah and in Spokane, and get to create custom artwork for clients, and I love doing it.
All right. So what kind of tattoo would you recommend for a 53-year-old nerdy kind of guy?
Well, I saw the Han Solo card, so maybe you need like a Star Wars tattoo.
Yeah, I was exactly. She read my mind.
Or Mooch the cat.
Yeah, or we could do a cat tribute. You could
Darth Vader.
You could do a Darth Vader cat.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe somewhere else in my body we could print, "This isn't the droid you're looking for."
Yeah.
All right,
Perfect.
I like that. I've always wanted a tattoo. Now I know what I'm getting. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I could help.
All right. So, Tim, you do this the beginning of every month, the first Thursday.
Yep.
All right. Sometimes they're like in the winter months. I know we have we'll go where you'll keep the same featured artist for a couple months. But I think, how long have we been doing this now?
It'll be 4 years in February.
No.
Yeah, it would be 4 years.
You've been here that long, and,
Yeah.
and we broadcast the very first one, didn't
Yes,
we? So we've been doing this for
almost 4
4
years.
I know I've got a whole
3.5 years for sure.
Yeah, I know I got a whole bunch of posters. Because
Yeah.
you do really cool posters for each event. So, all right, very exciting. I had no idea. I was thinking we've been at this a couple years. So,
I thought the same thing. Like, wow, I've been here this long.
Wow.
already.
So Tim has brought showcased tons of artists, both local, regional, and even national. So, Tim, 4 years of bringing artists to Chewelah and putting on the show at the beginning of every month. Big round of applause for Tim.
I have a question for Tim really quick here.
Okay.
Because we've been elected as the creative district.
Yes.
What impact does that have for your gallery?
None, really. I mean, I think for me, what I realize is I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and it fits.
You meld into it.
I'm in
Maybe
the
you're the
creative
one that sort of
district.
helped bring that in as well. Just being the
If I wasn't there, it's probably something they would want.
right.
So I don't know how all that. I think it's so new. I think they're trying to figure out how it all works, and I've just told them simply, just let me know how you want me to plug in. But generally, everything I'm doing
Fits right in.
supports
It
supports
supports
that.
I think, yes.
Started the art walk. I started the art walk in January of 2016, and it, kind of stumbled along
Well,
for
you
about a
started
year
in
and a half.
January, so that's
Yeah,
pretty
well,
good,
that
though.
too.
You slipped and fell a couple
Yeah.
times, but you got it off the ground.
And now it's grown. It was from one location, me, to 7 locations, and we just printed. I put together that little map and posted it on the.
Yeah, tell us about the map and where people can find it. And
Well-
first, I want you to tell people where your gallery is in case people haven't noticed.
Okay, my
I've had people
gallery-
still after 7 years ago. We have a radio station.
Trails and Galleries at 101 North Park Street, Suite B.
That's right on the
So
corner.
there's only one stoplight in this town. So I'm on the northwest corner in that building, back a little bit away with the big fish hanging off the wall.
There you go.
That's me.
All right.
And
The map. How did I know you've had it requested and stuff before? How can people find the map?
they can go to Trails in Gallery and click on it and just download it to their smartphone.
Okay.
I made it. I sent it to all the participants so we can all print off and just have a stack on hand. And you know, if we're really on it, maybe next time, you know, I'll go and have 1,000 of them printed off or something. Well, you know, just so each of the locations has a stack. But for right now, we're pretty fairly decentralized in how we work.
I say save the planet. Most people now, and I'm not trying to pick on the elderly, except for the really elderly, are pretty much smartphone savvy. Most people have one. Save the planet. Download it on your phone.
Well, that's
Yeah, it's just easy.
At last night's lecture, I said it's on the Trails in Gallery website. Just go ahead and click on it and download it, and you have it. But we just had our first meeting amongst First Thursday participants
I wasn't invited.
like a week ago. Well, for the places that are
yeah.
displaying.
Sure.
And, you know, and I just thought, wow, you know, because I've got more and more people asking about
Can I be
joining the art walk, and I just feel like the artists, the locations that are in it right now, I feel like we're all stakeholders in this, and so we really, you know, I want all their feedback on it.
Well,
So-
keep a spot open for us because we really want to. We still want to join this, and Jeff will be back in a couple weeks. He's made a full recovery from his liver cancer,
Ooh.
and we are just thrilled to have him coming back. So we're excited about that, and he really wants to be part of that and do something different, like painting to music while he's doing his show, that kind of stuff. So
Well, see,
we're really open to that too, and I'm sure you get tons of ideas like that of people that would like to partake.
You've discussed coming into it, you know, and a couple other locations have discussed coming into it, and I just realized that you want to make sure they really come in strong if they're going to do it. You know,
It's
really have
I don't want to start it and stop. It's
really a good program for joining this and being a part of it. You know, how can you best
Add to it.
add to it?
Add
It
to
is
it.
unique that somebody wants to come in and do the art to music. So who else is doing
Yeah,
that? That's
yeah.
kind of the little
It'd be a
niche
fun
there.
thing. It'd be a fun thing on the tour.
Yeah, but it's just it's getting an artist to do that.
All right.
Wanting to do that.
Anything else from your gallery that you want to throw out there? that
Nope.
We might have missed. All right.
What are,
And then we'll go back
Just
to
come out to First Thursday.
Scott, who are
It's
the
a great show.
participants?
Okay, let's go down the list
Yeah.
because sometimes
Yeah.
we throw you and you try to do it by memory and we throw you to the wolves. Let's see, we have Hello Gorgeous at 107 West Main, Trails End Gallery, 101 North Park, Wildflower, 110 East Main, Gather, 204 East Main, Fired Up Pizza, 206 East Main, Gene Beans, 211 East Main, and Chavino at 309 East Main. Going to be beautiful walk downtown, beautiful weather tonight. It'll be awesome. Last night was great too with the Summer Nights, first Wednesday farmers market.
Yeah.
And I love how we get these months where they're back to back. It's a couple fun and beautiful weather the last night too. So this is
Right,
great.
yeah.
And there was a lady who teaches school. She came up to me at Courtside Brewing and goes, "I'm a school teacher, and I took the time to count off. You had 65 people here. We had 65 people
All right.
Oh, nice.
last night
Nice.
to look
Yeah,
at,
that was a
to
friend of
listen
mine from
to her.
Spokane. She
Yeah,
said
that
she
was
counted
great.
twice.
That was great.
She said that she counted about 30 cars, so she figured that meant people rode together.
Nobody likes to go out by themselves, right?
No.
Yeah. Right. All right. Big
Almost
crowd.
just about all the tables, every seat was taken.
All right. Round of applause for Tracy.
Yes.
So let's talk about your art, Tracy.
Yeah.
A little bit of your history. How did you get started and find your love of art?
I always liked drawing and painting as a little kid, and my parents were really supportive of that. I would take art lessons and painting and just
Nice.
got into it that way, and they were always very supportive and let me have my messy area to do that kind of work and play. And then college, I went and did a bachelor's in graphic design and a
Wow.
minor in photography.
Nice.
But I took a lot of art history classes too, and that was really fun. But doing the bachelor's, I was more exposed to other mediums as well,
All right.
and just kind of kept going from there.
So what are your preferred mediums of art like that we might see even today?
I like painting with acrylic, just because I like things that draw, or not draw, things that dry quickly.
Okay.
So I paint with acrylic. You'll also see some digital illustrations that I've done for the book.
Okay.
And then I like to do collage work as well, that I mix kind of painting with found things, and every time I move I have to bring all those things with me. So
I love
I put in
collages.
things that are like I've collected over the years.
I was going to say, I bet you got boxes of little things that you never
Mhm.
know if you'll be able to use it or not, and then the
And then
inspiration comes along.
and then I
and-
have to find it.
I know I have that brass butterfly somewhere.
It's somewhere. Yes.
And those pieces aren't in the show.
No, they're not
But
in
they
the
were
show. But
in her lecture last night, so it was
So-
really fun to see them.
I
Yeah.
love collages. I would have loved to see that.
yeah, they're fun. I like doing them.
All right. So, are you like in your art right now? I see you have a book in front of us, and we're going to look at some of the illustrations there. Tell us who wrote the book.
Melanie.
Everybody in the town
Yes,
knows. too.
Melanie Huff wrote the book.
Okay.
And she approached me to do the illustrations for it. They are short stories. I think there's 30 short stories in the book. It's called Phantasmagoria.
Oh, cool.
And each story is maybe a sentence or a paragraph long.
Can you hold that up in front of your
So-
camera, Daisy? There you go.
She spent time
Perfect.
finally crafting these tiny stories when she'd have minutes between
Taking
where she
care
could
of her
work
son,
on
yeah?
it. And then she would send me a couple stories at a time, and then I would do the illustrations and send them back to her. And she wouldn't tell me, hey, draw it like this or do this. But so it was an interesting collaboration, just because
She kind of gave you the freedom
yeah,
to
she
come up
kind
with it on
of
your
didn't
own.
know what was going to come back to the story. So I wanted all the illustrations to feel like they're kind of connected and similar. So there's some things that do repeat throughout them in the way that they're framed and lit.
Well, so you're like an integral part of her book then, because every couple chapters you're having to read them.
Every chapter there's a
visualize
story.
it,
There's
and-
one for every
Oh,
page.
wow.
So
Wow.
there were
Wow.
30 pictures. And then,
And
yeah.
And so I imagine you have a huge sense of accomplishment with her book as well, huh?
Yeah, it felt good to be part of that. It was really
All right,
fun.
all right.
And that's how I met
That's how we
Tracy.
met.
Was at their book signing and reading at Courtside about a year and a half ago.
Okay. All right. And where can people find that book?
They can find it at Valley Drug. I know they have it.
Gene
I know
Beans.
Jeans
Gene
Beans has it.
has
Yeah.
it.
Saw it.
She's got
Yeah.
some copies at the
And I have some
gallery.
copies at the gallery,
Yeah.
and I keep some copies with me over at the shop.
This is the time to get your free plugs in. So that's what.
So, and I have a children's book I wrote 2 years ago, and I started the art, but I gave up because I took some art classes, but it's so hard to do. And I've been looking for an artist to help me finish my
There
children's
you
book.
go.
She
And it's
could
very
be.
similar to the format. It might be an 8x8, but yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
All right. I think opportunity might be really close to you, Daisy.
Right next to you.
It's very magical. I think you would like
be
it.
fun.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
have to
very
talk.
fun. Animals are involved in little magical beings and things like that. So.
See, the hippie girls always take over the show. You should
All
have
right,
learned-
Scott.
you should have listened yesterday. The
Scott.
hippie girls went nuts yesterday on the radio.
It's just
Left
because you don't
Scotland.
have the spotlight.
No. No, I just can't see where you guys went. All right. So let's start off, take a look. I think our first shot here is of a couple pictures from the book. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Why don't you tell us about what the folks are looking at there in the webcams?
So the picture on the left is titled The Bird, I believe. And that one's a short story, and basically with each story, I wanted to illustrate it but not give you the obvious picture that the story tells you.
Okay.
So you can kind of draw your own conclusions when you do look at the
The bird.
picture.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So the second one on the right, that one's from a story, it's called Hope, and that one's also on the cover of the book. And what you can see is, they're similar. You can tell that they're from the same set, basically, because we've framed them the same, and then we've done how they're shaded kind of in the corners, vignette corners, and same style throughout the book.
All right.
I
So
love the cover.
So I
Traci.
wanted it to
is
feel consistent.
very attractive. It draws, and it
And it feels
the hand
good,
with
too.
the bubbles, and it's magical.
Yeah.
It is. It's attractive.
Yeah, and it was hard finding. Some of the stories are just not vague, but they're not an obvious story, or it's talking about somebody's feelings or something, and you're like, how do I illustrate that?
Yeah.
So
The
some of
hand,
them were harder than
bubbles.
others, for sure.
Yeah.
Some
You had
were
to
like,
interpret it,
I mean,
right?
and
Yeah.
there's so much in the bubbles. There's like ideas, like it's this
Yeah, it could
inspiration,
mean all kinds of
all
things.
kinds of things, right?
yeah. So that's why I wanted to leave things kind of open-ended, so you could make it mean what you want
Yeah.
to when you read that story.
Nice.
So,
Can I guess the title of the next painting?
yeah.
This one's called I Want Cake.
Close.
And I want to eat it too.
Cake.
All right, tell us about this one.
This one's called Cake.
Oh, I was close.
I believe it's called Cake. This is one that I started a long time ago, and it was unfinished and survived several moves. And when I needed artwork for the show, I thought, I'm going to finish this out and adjust it and make it fit with this show. And it's the one that's not on canvas. It's painted on masonite. So it's the one that feels different than the others, but it's done with acrylic. And it's basically cake,
All right.
pink cake.
So is that a tougher medium to paint on than canvas, or what do you
No,
think?
it's just, it's not. What was nice was it was part of a larger piece that was all around it was unfinished, but this random piece of cake had been floating on this board for about 5 years.
All right.
And I was able to just crop into the cake.
All right.
Nice.
So,
All right, 5-year-old cake. I like
Yes.
A little close up there. Good idea.
All right. Next up, we've looks like we've got
A wheel.
A wheel.
It's like a
Is it like a
wheel.
spoke?
Yeah.
it's from, I call this piece Haymaker. It's those things that you see in the field that have all the shiny
Is
wheels.
that a swather kind of thing?
I don't know what the name is. Somebody told me the name last night, and I said, I just call it Haymaker. Because when I see those in the field, I just love them because they've got like, I've seen one that's red with gold and just like 8 shiny gold wheels, and I just love the circles and the shapes they make, and that's what I look at. Yeah.
All right. Haymaker. Now that one, almost the way it's painted, almost has like a cartoon
Yeah.
a feel to it.
I do a lot of outline on this stuff. It's more illustrative that way, where, yeah, I'm not painting it without an edge. I'm putting, it's kind of like a tattoo in a way.
Okay.
It's got an outline on it, and
Are there a lot of similarities between the art that you do, say, on canvas and in other media and tattoos? I mean, do you look at the art the same way? I'm curious.
I think I look at it the same way. Like when I do a tattoo, I'm looking at the composition and how things are laid out or combined to be a nice piece and not be 3 separate things that don't go together. But then I do see similarities in my tattoo work and in my personal work where each influences the other.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I thought there'd be a lot of correlation there. All right, what do we got next, Tim? And that one was called again, the title of that one?
Haymaker.
Haymaker.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah, I like just making up my own things too, so I get it. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. Tim get it all adjusted. And you tell us about this one.
This one's called Huckleberry.
Okay.
And for the show, basically it's called I Spy, and it's all based on photos that I took and worked from the photos that I took. Haven't really done that before. So this was different for me to work from my own pictures and things that I found just in everyday life. And we went huckleberry picking last summer, and I took some pictures, and this is
So do
from
you
that.
do you typically paint from? Because I always ask artists this because I have no artistic ability in that way. You know, I don't have good penmanship, and my brain doesn't work that way to picture something in my mind and be able to get it on paper. Now I lost my train of thought again.
You ask every artist. You said you ask every artist about how they do their media, how they do their art, or what goes through their mind, or.
I don't know. That
Yeah,
wasn't that.
okay,
Okay. That wasn't it, but that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah. No, well, sometimes I make a plan. Yes, I think you were maybe going there.
Okay.
Since I have the pictures.
Oh yes. So
Sometimes I make a
that was the
plan,
question,
but-
and I'm always curious.
Yeah.
Do you usually paint from a picture or do you paint from mind? I guess.
From these, I paint from picture because I want it to kind of look. I can see it in my head in a way.
Okay.
But I take the photo and then I do a drawing based on that, and then it turns into the painting. So it changes as it goes too.
But the inspiration.
But the inspiration is kind of from the pictures for this. When I do collage, it's more like from my mind. And sometimes when I paint, I'll do that, but I find that then I kind of stumble around a lot more because I maybe won't be as focused, or I don't know where I'm going. Where here, I know where I'm going, but the road might change a little bit to get there. It won't always be how I think it's going to be.
And I don't know if this comes up in like art classes and stuff, but I would think in order to be able to just picture a picture in your mind and paint it, you'd almost have to have like a photographic memory for that to be able to flow. I don't know. Do you have any
I
thoughts?
don't, but I wing it. I make it up. There's no
right.
rules.
It's creative.
So, if you look at the photo and the drawing, you'll see minor differences, and I sort of feel like that's part of the process.
Okay.
It's going to evolve as you go, and sometimes you don't know. It's going to change and not be what you wanted,
It's your expression.
but it's what was going to come out. So,
Tim shouted from the back, "It's your expression."
Yeah,
for-
creative
yes,
expression.
Yes.
I really love this piece.
It's the beauty of art.
So now every show, Tim comes up with an awesome
I
poster,
Spy.
and this is the one for Terry's show, or Traci's show, excuse me, if you're watching online. I knew I'd do that to myself. So the show tonight, I Spy, Traci Manley, and you'll catch her at the Trails and Gallery. 5:30 tonight, Tim?
Yes.
5:30.
5:30, things open up on the streets of Chewil. Lots of businesses being staying open for this that aren't open sometimes, right? Like maybe Gather, a little later hours for them. I know she does different hours, but
Yeah,
some of the
she
Jeans
stays-
Beans open special for this tonight.
Yeah.
So a lot of businesses do that. It'll be a great time downtown. All right. Anything you would like to tell people about today's show, either one of you, tonight's show?
It's a really vibrant show. It was really fun to come in there this morning and just, it's just me and it's clean and everything, and just to be able to really see the show in its entirety is really
Now, what's
lovely.
that like for you? Because every month or two, your whole basically lobby, your gallery changes, your feng
Yeah.
shui changes, and
Yeah.
you have to come up with a creative way to display somebody else's artwork. Because not only are you your own artist, you're also a curator for other people. So
Yeah, but I would say that by now I have a format. The front room is the exhibition space for my artist, and every artist gets, the sweet spot is that 7 weeks. I've got friends like Dave Anderson, and my wife went through gallery management too, and that's really kind of the minimum time you want to be able to give everyone an opportunity to see the show.
sure.
And it's fun, so I've got it pretty regimented now, and I like it. It seems to work, and we do my artist always gives one art talk, and so I'm trying to make sure that in the in-between months, I've had a few other artists from other locations come in and give talks, but we want to. Courtside Brewing has been so generous in offering up just making the first Wednesday of every month
Available for
they
you.
reserve it for art.
Nice.
So I think that's really neat.
I noticed they host the Arts Guild and stuff too. They're very they're very supportive of the arts.
Bud
in
Evans, the Pechacucha, and
yes,
and it really is a nice venue. The way the building is, it kind of funnels to that one end, and I just leave my screen there for them to use. Well, Bud usually brings his own, but it's just a nice place to show a slide lecture like that. So.
Again tonight, we want you on the streets of Chihuahua. Starts at 5:30, runs till 8, and this is put on by our friend right there, Tim Nelson, and the Trails and Gallery. You can find him online. Just Google Trails and Gallery. You got a Facebook page. You got a website.
Just Facebook, Trails and Gallery.
Okay.
I've got a domain name, but
I know
I just never got around to
Tim Nelson Designs, I think.
Well, Tim Nielsen Designs. Yes.
Yes.
That has a page on Facebook.
Now,
also.
in the second
So-
room, you usually have some of your own art displayed, right?
Oh yeah.
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 So people can check
well,
that out too.
the back room is the artists that I display that I have year round, and there's a lot of good art in there. There's jewelry, and there's paintings, and there's sculpture, and prints.
A good question for you, Traci. If people are interested, they come by and they'll be able to talk to you tonight, obviously.
Yes.
And unless you're swarmed like you were last night with 65 people.
I know. That was big.
You kind of go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So if someone loves your artwork and they were thinking, I want this lady to do a tattoo, how do they catch up with you and your tattoo work? Go ahead and give that a plug.
Yeah, they can find me. I'm on the website momstattoo.ink. That's our website.
Okay.
And you can find me on Instagram and see examples of my artwork. It's at Traci Manley is my Instagram name.
Okay.
So
Tons of photos there. I
tons
bet.
of photos there.
Yeah.
Yep, lots of photos there. Some of painting and mostly tattoo work there.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've got to know Tim now. What kind of tattoo would Tim get?
Laura asked me this last night. When are you getting ink?
I don't know what Tim would get yet. I don't know.
I contemplated it actually in my early 40s. And this is 20 years later, and I still haven't figured it out.
Tim's not ready.
Well,
He'll know when
I
he
guess
knows.
not.
well, that's why I was asking if you do those 2-week tattoos, because I heard about those where if you're not ready, if you can try something.
No, I don't do those. You have to be ready.
It was really funny. We were at El Ranchito the other night. Of course, the little kids wanted quarters for the vending machine, and they have those little temporary tattoos. So my wife, Nandis, put a tattoo on her arm, and when we showed up at Brown's Lake,
She walked by and I saw it. I thought, oh, I didn't know she had that. It looked pretty real. It wasn't.
because it was one day fresh.
Yes.
Oh, hilarious.
Fooled you.
It's
It
probably
did.
already worn off.
I
but it
didn't
was
have my
funny.
glasses on.
All right. What about Daisy? What kind of tattoo would she get?
Oh, I don't know either.
And what do you think she needs,
Maybe
Traci?
like an
Get some like hippie frog or a wizard
osprey.
An osprey?
I like
You want
ospreys.
or an osprey.
Yeah.
Or a fairy or a unicorn.
Or a white snake. I think osprey, white snake would probably be my first choice.
All right,
White
all
snake.
right, all
Yeah.
right. I'm sticking with I'm not the droid you're looking for.
I like to wrap around. a
Right
snake,
on your
'cause I love
R2,
things.
Yeah.
I like to
D2.
wrap
On the-
a
on the
white
left
snake
hip,
around,
it'll
it's so
say.
symbolic. So.
All right. All right. Once again, Traci Manley on the streets of Chihuahua tonight. Find her at the Trails and Gallery. You've got 7 other locations. Going to be a great night. Tim, thanks for doing this. Traci, thanks for coming in.
Thank
Round of
you.
applause for both of you.
Thank you.
All right. And back into the music we go. I have this song, I'm afraid. So this one I'm going to play as we go back into the music. This was recorded right here in the KCHW studios a couple weeks ago.
Yay!
It
I love
was
this song.
the artist is Jacob Van O out of Spokane, and his buddy is a rapper who appears on some of his songs, and his name is Ray Northwest. These two young men were so down to earth.
They rock.
And so cool. And this is their new release. It's called Shiny Thing, and it's on KCHW 102.7. Jacob Van O from Spokane.
To the world it's foolishness. Can't believe a thing you say.